Hello, everyone. IMS welcomes you all to our webinar series, the B School Insider, all you need to know about your dream school. And I am your host, Kalyani, for today's webinar. So in today's session, our topic is IIM Lucknow, campus life, placements, and academics. In this webinar, you'll get the insider's view of IIM Lucknow and find out all about the personal journey of the four panelists, from their CAT experience to the selection process at IIM Lucknow, the campus life, the academic schedule and faculty, placement process at the campus, find out about internships at IIM Lucknow, and does a good internship really open up opportunities for a good placement, and also some fun facts about IIM Lucknow. So today our speakers are Karanveer Verma. He's from the 2019 batch. He's a senior business analyst, AVP with Barclays. We have Shivam Chopra. He's from 2021 batch. He's with Landmark Group, Dubai. Then we have Kaushik Ganesan. He's from the 2021 batch. He's a junior consultant with Bain and Company. And we have Ritika Mittal from second year of IIM Lucknow. Welcome all of you, and thank you so much for being here today for this session. So tell us about your CAT experience. How much did you score? How many months did you prepare for CAT? And was there anything in particular that you did to get success? And also, if you can also talk a little bit about your educational background, as in, was it engineering or non-engineering background? Yeah, so we can start from Ritika, then Karanveer, then Kaushik, and then Shivam. Yeah, Ritika.
Yeah, hi. So I'm a CA. So coming from CA background, I think quant was challenging for me. So I took the CAT twice, once in 2018 and once in 2019. And 2018 quant is what hindered my calls. So in 2019, I scored a 99.69 in CAT, and with an equivalent sectional score overall. And in terms of prep, I think what worked well for me was test taking at regular intervals. So basically, test taking starts typically from June, and many people try to avoid taking it till the time they've finished a substantial amount of the portion. So I think that's something that worked very well for me, taking
Right.
around 40 plus tests over the duration till the exam.
Mm.
So I think that's one thing that I think aspirant should keep in mind.
Okay. Okay. Karanveer.
Hi, hello everyone, and thank you, Kalyani, for hosting us. I was a BSc Agriculture graduate, and I started preparing for CAT in the final year graduation, and I prepared for around 7 months. And for me, the main thing I think the advice that I'll give to students is reviewing your CAB mock test with your peers. So what I did was, so as Ritika mentioned, right, it's very important to to give your mock test, and we try to avoid it because we don't want to see our low scores. But we have to face it, right? Sooner or later, better face it earlier.
Right.
And then once we start facing it, it's what we used to do in IMS was we had a projector, and we three four guys who were scoring good marks or similar marks. We used to get together, and we used to run each other's mock test one by one, and used to see, okay, how you did this question, how I approached this question, and why you got it right, why I got it wrong, and why I chose this question or this paragraph to do first. So if you can have that healthy bonding with your peers or within your coaching center, I think that would really help you. So
Right.
try to build that bond, and then you can host these Zoom meetings, and so and enjoy the journey. Then,
Right.
yep, that's is one tip from me. Thank you.
Yeah. Kaushik.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I think I am the least qualified to talk about this particular question. The only reason being I was very casual about my CAT attempts. So the
Okay.
first two attempts which I gave, I hardly knew what was. I had enrolled with IMS, but then because of my work commitments, I'm a chartered accountant. I was working with one of the big fours back then,
Okay.
and because of the work commitments, I could never spend time. And then I just walked into the first couple of attempts, and then surprisingly, I scored a little higher there, about 97 and odd percentile. But then the third time around, when I could spend a little bit of time, I ended up getting a 92.98. But that got me through to IIM Lucknow. I don't know for what reasons or how. Probably because I'm from a different domain, and then there's some additional weightage to that. Adding on to that is my work experience of about 2.5 years. So I think the key here would be one to practice because speed is very critical, and the mock tests, and finally, I think you should also not have that pressure. I think from a personal experience, the first two times when I had no expectations, I just walked into the exam. I think I tended to perform better. So last 1 week of the exam, you should probably be a little more relaxed and then complete it pretty sooner as you can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shivam.
Yeah, hi everyone. A very good morning. So I'll briefly share what my background is. So I am from an engineering background from NIT Jaipur, and I had a work of 3 years prior to joining. I am now in the analytics domain, and I had a pretty decent score in 10th and 12th, that is 90 plus. So I gave CAT twice, and for the second time, I gave it a bit seriously. I prepared around 6 to 7 months, and for me, it was more of a balanced approach. So, even being an engineer, I focused on all the three sections: VRC, LRDI, and verbal, because you have to score evenly all throughout. And three tips that I like to give that helped me while preparing: number one, know the exam very well. That is, you have to know the pattern, the syllabus, what is the difficulty level. Secondly, you have to have a very consistent practice all throughout 6 7 months that you are preparing, because you cannot leave the exam for the day to click for you or probably your brilliant aptitude. You have to put in a lot of practice. And thirdly, you have to have a very good test taking strategy that you can fine tune by giving a lot of marks. And it should be a very customized strategy that suits your strengths and weaknesses. So those are the three things I think that should help any aspirant.
Is it a wise decision to leave job for the preparation of CAT? Who would like to answer? Anyone can answer.
Yeah, I can go ahead probably. So I prepared in parallel to my job. I was working 3 years, and I think you should not leave your job for preparation, because one, it is obviously a stability factor, and secondly, it kind of releases some stress out of the preparation. So if you are solely focusing on preparation, it worked for me. I can tell from my experience that you can prepare also, give a focused preparation, as well as take some time off work, and kind of, as Kaushik mentioned, you cannot be very serious about the exam. You have to have a very balanced kind of an approach to the CAT exam.
So now let's talk about the selection process. As in, can you talk a little bit about your personal interview, your group discussion? What are the topics on which the questions were asked? And do you have any special tips for future aspirants? So again, Ritika, you can start, and then we can follow the same.
So I think the questions revolve in 6 buckets, 5 to 6 buckets. So one is about what you've done till up to the point of the interview, right? So your personal life, your educational background, and then the second bucket, which is your technical, so related to your educational background. So like, because I was a CA, I was expected to know what I've done till date with respect to my subjects, a little technical knowledge of that. Then is your work ex. If you have work ex, you need to know what you've done in your work. They'll ask you questions related to the industry in which you're working. So say if you're working in the real estate sector, they'll ask you recent trends that go on in that sector. Then is your extracurriculars and positions of responsibilities that you have. So basically your hobbies. So if say you like playing cricket, they'll expect you to know the name of CDM, say in Australia, or any key match that has come up recently. So basically trivia and GK. But the aim of these questions is to check if you're saying you claim to like something or you claim to have done something, you should have a strong backing to it that you've actually done or accomplished the thing. So for me, most of my interviews had revolved around my educational background and a bit on my work ex.
Okay.
I think that covered most of my interviews. So trivia was fortunately a little less for me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Karanveer.
Yep. So for me, I prepared, since I was giving interview for the ABM domain, as I was from BSc Agriculture, so I was shortlisted for IIM Lucknow ABM course. And so for me, it was mostly revolving around agriculture. And the main question they always ask, or they always want to know, is that why you want to do ABM. and what are your personal motivation, what you will do after doing ABM. So this just want to make sure that are you really interested in agriculture or not. And for me, it was relatively easier to establish distance because I was from farming family. And then they ask questions from a little bit from academics, like the stats question or whatever. So they don't know in the. So for me personally, I don't think they have like they go too technical. Just try to ask basic questions, which fundamental questions which you should be aware of, and then current affairs or whatever is surrounding around those questions that they ask. So they try to ask those questions. Yep. So overall, it was a good experience for me for IIM Lucknow interview.
Okay. Yeah. Kaushik.
Yeah. So mine again was more to do with my domain because I come from a Fin background. But it was also a current affairs as well as some deep knowledge about your understanding of how far. So I think two broad topics which I could recollect is one, island affairs was a hot topic back then. As to how it had happened, going to the root cause, what could have the stakeholders done. So you should probably evaluate things from a comprehensive standpoint as to who are the different stakeholders and what could have been your perspective. So typically in finance also, you are expected to give your own view or opinion rather than just state something which you've read or picked out from somewhere. And the second was about India's foreign trade policy and why do you think certain things are exported or not, say rice, higher quality, low quality, something of this sort. And I think VAT was there at that point in time last 2 years because of this pandemic, probably that's been exempted or waived off. I had again a relevant topic back then. One was, I think, because we were still in the aftermath of the demonetization, there were a lot of talks. So demonetization was the topic back then. Again, I think one key factor, I think the most critical factor throughout the process is to not be under stress. Because I could see a lot of people around me who were actually panicking, who were very anxious, who were asking students who were going in and coming out as to what were the questions. I don't see a point in that for a very simple reason. If you go in and with a calm mind, even if you don't know something, you can probably think on the spot. But then if you can't expect the same questions to repeat as well, it will be customized to your profile, what you have done, as Ritika said, in your CV. So I think that's pretty much it from me.
Yeah. Shivam.
Yeah, I think all three have summarized it very well. What I can add to it is what my personal experience was. So right after my CAT was over, I actually chilled out a bit for 1 month or so. So it got over in December, and then I relaxed a bit. And one shortlist came. So I had shortlist from two of my dream colleges. I am Bangalore, Lucknow. So how I went about my prep after that was, so it has three things. One is the affairs knowledge. You should be slightly updated with it. But if you are preparing for your CAT, the VARC section, you can be up to date with the current affairs. Then you can squeeze in a bit of VAT practice, the rating practice, that more or less the topics you know about should work. And lastly, it's the personal interview. For personal interview, three things are important. One is your work. You have a work-ex, then you should know the technicalities, the logic of your project, how are you approaching the project, and so on and so on.
Right.
Then you should have some also some knowledge or revision of your technical undergraduation. So for example, I am an engineer, so you should have all of core subjects prepared or your favorite subjects prepared. And lastly, actually just depends on the conversation. As Kaushik, and you cannot come under stress because that is what they are checking, and the interview can in any direction. So you have to be calm and composed, because actually for me, Lucknow interview didn't go so well, but probably I think the conversation was good. I made some errors, but probably conversation was good and the temperament was good. So I think luckily I got through. So you have to be very chilled out and calm and composed. That is what they are looking for.
So, is there any kind of profile building exercise the aspirants can begin now to have a higher chance of being selected by IIM Lucknow? Ritika and Shivam, you guys can answer this question.
So profile building, I think in terms of getting into IIM Lucknow, I don't think there is anything specific, because in terms of getting into IIM Lucknow, there are specific components, right? For your educational background, your CAT score, your work text. So those are the things that really help you and your personal interview. So, but once getting into IIM Lucknow, I think you have to be sure about what you want to do at the end. So when you say you want to move into finance and you have an engineering background, probably a CFA or any finance related courses online would help you. Even the same goes for marketing or any other domain that you want. You can have things that align to that profile. And yeah, I think if you have a gap here, I think a few of them were concerned about that. So if you have a gap here, there are things that you need to justify that you've done in that time. So that necessarily becomes your profile building, because when you're working, that is building your profile, right? So when you're having a gap year, you can probably take up some hobbies or mentoring of some sort, or any online course, something, or any internship for a small duration that can make up or justify that you have utilized your time in the prep, along with doing some other activities, because even they know you're not going to be prepping 12 hours a day, right? So that's one thing that I think would help in terms of profile building.
Okay. Shivam, you would like to add something?
I think she's perfectly summarized. I would just say, just focus on your as of now. Whoever are the new aspirants, that is paramount. And if you are done with it, you can actually use all the tips that Ritika just mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Sorry, just to add, Kalyani, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. So for freshers, I think they need to build their profile. Like, so coming from, so I can tell from my personal experience, right? So for freshers don't generally have too much, info to put in CV. So they always struggle. Okay, when everyone around them has so many CV points to write about, and they don't have such points. So probably if you have time, I'd suggest, try to do some kind of a live project with your, just do with your friends or something there, and do it with the, discuss with your professor in your college, and so that they can approve the CV point later on. Or you can do some kind of, just create a B plan for entrepreneurship, or try to be associated with some NGO. So do some kind of activity which shows that, okay, you are, because for freshers, they don't have generally, much to judge you upon or ask questions you upon apart from your academics. So it's better to, do other things simultaneously with your degree, so that, it shows that, okay, you are more than your degree. So for freshers, yeah, you should do at least something to build your profile outside of your academics.
Right. Yeah. So now let's talk about academics at IIM Lucknow. So can you all share your first day or the first week at IIM Lucknow? How was it like? Shivam, you can start. And then Kaushik, then Karanveer, and then Ritika.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I very distinctly remember my first day at IIM Lucknow. Fortunately, I and one of my childhood friends got admission together.
Okay.
So we went from our hometown to the college, and the weather that day was very good, and the campus is beautiful. It's lush green and all that. So it was a very good feeling once we enter the IIM Now campus. Interestingly, what happened was, a fun story is, on my first day, we were able to get to the registration desk. So all the hostels were occupied, and we did not get any hostel, and so we were allocated due to some logistical issue. So we were created the guest house, and those were air conditioners. Hostels are not air conditioned, but the guest houses are. So it was a bus for us that we were able to stay in the AC guest rooms for about a month or so. And Lucknow is very hot in July, August. So that was a fun thing. But definitely you want to stay in your hostel because you all your friends there, and that is what you have come for a residential program. And uh, the hostel life is also amazing. So that was my first day's experience.
Yeah, Kaushik.
So mine again, this is the first time I was traveling and somewhere outside home post work, and then I didn't know anyone. I was going all alone. The campus was vast, so I couldn't. I felt as if I was traveling for a very long time within the campus itself to reach the registration desk. And then there was a chit-based system, so there are all these talks of different old and new hostels. But then I managed to get one of the old hostels, and I really loved it because it was centrally located. The first week, it started off with induction. So induction was one. We have a formal induction from the entire day, and then we are also having a set of activities to do post that. Uh, After that, it was the section allocation, and I think initial few classes alone, it was just a good feeling to be back because I had joined some sort of a formal education after 8 years because CA was a professional course. so you need not attend any sort of a college per se. So that was a very good feeling per se.
Okay. Yeah, Ritika.
So for me, the experience was really
Yeah,
different.
correct.
Kaushik
Yeah.
and Shivam, because
Yes.
mine started off online.
Uh,
So I remember very vividly because to the run up to the college, actually, we already have activities going on by our cultural committee. So it became like an extension of that for our first week, only more hectic. So our classes start off immediately after the induction, and that's when a couple of more activities come in all together. So it gets a little overwhelming, I think, compared to when you're at home, then you're at campus. But it's overall a very fun experience because you have just shifted to the B school life. So the
right.
turnaround, the switch turns on randomly, and it's a good roller coaster ride for the 1 week that you just start your B school journey.
Yeah. So, how was the daily routine like? How was the daily routine? I mean, three of you have already graduated. So, yeah, how's the daily routine? Ritika, can you tell us a little bit because yours must be very different because you've been doing it online.
So the online, I have experienced my term one online
Yeah.
and my term 2 and 3 offline.
Okay.
So both of them were very different routines.
Hmm.
So term one online, basically you have 9 a.m. lectures which start in the morning,
Hmm.
and if you're at home, you wake up at 8:45. You sit for your lecture.
Yeah.
Similarly, if you're at campus, you have quizzes that are there in the mornings before your lectures on most days. So you wake up at around 7:45, 8, go for your quiz, then you have a quick breakfast, go attend your lectures. So lectures typically go on space throughout the day
Hmm.
from 9 to say 5 o'clock.
Hmm.
And you have breaks in the middle of two lecture schedule.
Okay.
So from 5 o'clock onwards, you would typically have time for yourself,
Hmm.
and that depends actually. So if it's during the exams or if it's a term one,
Hmm.
so term one is when you have your summer placement prep, so you have to utilize maximum time for your prep or building your CV. So that's how your time is spaced. So the
Hmm.
time that you have for yourself, either you spend it on activities in placement for the term one, or in term two, term three, you have a little more time to explore what you want to do. So there are a lot of sports that go on at campus from 5:30 to 8, so
Hmm.
you can take part in that. And then if you're a part of some club committee, you can probably take up work of that club committee. And
Okay.
there are a lot of cultural events that go on at campus in the evenings.
Hmm. Hmm. Which
So,
are the clubs and committees there at IIM Lucknow?
so we have around 35 to
Okay.
40 clubs and committees, and they're divided into clubs, committees, and academic interest groups.
Okay. Uh,
So,
You guys
yeah,
are part of any club committees? You are?
I am a part of media and communication cell.
Mm,
So,
okay. And yeah, and Shivam, you were part of clubs and committees?
Yeah, I was part of the PlaceCom,
Okay.
the placement committee.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it has a different story altogether.
Yeah,
But yeah,
must. Hmm. Hmm. And yeah, Karanveer, you were part of any?
Yeah, I was in Senate, so that is happens in the second year by election.
Okay, okay, okay. And Kaushik?
I was part of the student council.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. So, how do you guys have any particular faculty member who's probably your favorite or any favorite class or professor you would like to talk about? Vitika, you can go, then Kaushik, then Shivam.
actually, I think you tend to get a
Hmm.
more better experience of professors in your second year. So Shivam and Kaushik,
Okay.
because you have electives,
But
right?
your faculty, so you have any particular favorite class right now at the moment, as in,
So for me, actually, I enjoyed term one marketing because that was something very different from what I've studied so far in my life, which has been completely finance.
hmm,
And I had Anirban sir for marketing, and I think that was a very different and really great experience because he teaches you based on practical real life examples, which makes it very easy for
right,
you to understand and connect to it.
hmm,
But I
hmm,
think in depth, a lot of the faculties come in during the second year, so Kaushik and Shivam would be able to help.
right, yeah, yeah, Kaushik.
So
Oh,
I think
Shivam, yeah, which one?
a couple of profs. One, I think again Anirban sir. He was the first prof I had also in marketing, and that is a very different area for me. I had not done that before. Even case studies or analysis, he used to have a very in-depth way of trying to help you comprehensively evaluate everything, right? So he goes into the depth of any case, any point he makes, and then he gives you real life examples so that you can relate to it, be it a small toothpaste or whatever it is. So I think that he was one of the best, and just because of that impression, I ended up taking another elective in the second year, although I was not specializing in marketing
Right.
of his. And so in the first year, he literally teaches you from the base as to how you should look at things, different perspectives, and then the in-depth knowledge comes in consumer behavior in the second year. Apart from that, I think in finance, Vikas sir is probably one, because he comes from a very with a very vast industry experience. So you get to understand and learn a lot of things from a practical standpoint.
Okay.
So I think these are the two professors I could name.
Shivam.
Yeah, for me, my favorite professor, I had a elective with him. So he is Professor Rajesh Kumra, Rajiv Kumra, and Kumra sir is one of the most liked professor since many years. He has been winning a lot of awards, and I think most of the people would agree that he teaches a marketing elective, applied marketing strategy, and there are around 400 students taking his elective. Like everyone has a craze that we want to study from Kumra sir in the second year, and his pedagogy is very unique, and I found it very interesting. So many students who did not even take his elective used to get his course. So if any one of you is fortunate to go to IIM Lucknow, please do take Kumra sir's subject in your second year. And for finance, so finance was a bit challenging for me since I am from engineering background. Professor Ajay Garg taught many courses even in the first year and the second year. So I found him very good with the finance part, and his way of teaching was very easy. And for non-finance guys, it became very easy for us to grasp the concepts in finance. So those are the two profs.
So, can we talk a little bit about your summer internship? Ritika and Kaushik, would you like to take this question? Hello, Ritika? Or Kaushik, whoever wants to answer first.
Kaushik, you
Ritika
can
can go first.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think she's doing it now. I think
Yeah.
that'll be more.
Correct. Yeah.
So my internship ended just yesterday. I was interning with Deutsche Bank in IB, and the experience has been really great. So I think the most important part here that I learned over the last 2 months was that I had a pre-notion that this is something that I do not want to do, and finance is something that I've been doing all my life.
Okay.
But the experience that I've had over the last few months, I've gotten to learn so much more, and all the myths that I had been broken. So I think it's been a great learning experience. So that's one thing that I think is very important for everyone, that they should not have preconceived notions as to what they want to do, or what they expect out of things. The similar thing goes for the entire even the interview selection process for getting an internship. I think you need to have an open mind and be ready to explore what comes your way, because in the end you're getting to learn something new out of your summer internship, and that's what's more important.
Correct. Yeah, so tell me, Kaushik, you would like to add anything, or we can go to the next one, which is basically internship selection process. Like, what is the internship selection process? And also, there is a question about from when does summer internship start? Yeah.
I think Shivam can take it up on the selection process. What I will probably add on to Ritika's point is, as she rightly said, it is about exploring, right? So, but the primary difference between summers and finals is, in summers it is still acceptable if you are exploring your domain of interest, while in finals you are expected to have more clarity as to what you want to do.
Okay.
So I think that is somewhere people can afford to try something and then maybe switch over domains also. Obviously, if you want to switch over from one domain to another, you will have to put in the necessary steps between your summers and finals. You'll have to do case comms, different activities, do well in academics. There are multiple things which you can, whatever is needed for a particular domain of interest, you'll have to end up doing that. But I think primarily summers, it is still acceptable. You can go in with an open mind. So that is what I wanted to say.
Okay. Yeah, the internship selection process, Shivam.
Yeah. So I'll give a brief timeline on how the process looks like. So you get admitted somewhere around June, right? On a typical year. So you get admitted at June, and you have around 4 to 5 months of preparation. You're preparing CV, you're preparing your for your companies, your domains. And the summer internship process is somewhere around October, mid-October.
Okay.
And for that, it's a 4 to 5 day process. It's a huge, it's like a festival in any B school, wherein there are 200 250 plus companies coming in, and all the students, 450 plus students, getting placed in during that window.
Right.
So from a student's perspective, how the process looks like: you start your preparation, and then closer to the process, somewhere around August September, the companies start coming in, they do their presentations. Then we have, for some companies, we have the buddy programs, mentorship programs, we have group discussion practices, and all of that. And during the process, the companies come in beforehand. 1 month prior, you start opening the applications for all your companies, the student in the desired applications.
Right.
And then there is a shortlisting process anywhere during that month for all students who get shortlisted. It can be multiple stages, like it can be a GD shortlist, and then after your GD, you have your partner interview. So all of that process goes on somewhere between September to October.
Okay.
That's the summer internship. And after the, let's say, the G and then EI, you get selected, and you resume or you start your internship, actual internship, in the next year, May and June, or till May.
Okay.
And that is the summer internship. And very similar process is there for the finals, which is your second year. In your second year, there are two processes. One is the laterals process, wherein students with WorkX can appear for a bunch of companies. That is spread across a month, more of a distributed process. And then again in January, you have your finals process, which is exactly similar to the process, just for the second year rights.
Okay. So, do all students get placed in summer internships? How many companies can each student apply to?
From an application standpoint, they can apply to any number of companies in the summer internship. And yes, all the students get placed. For some, the process is as per their desire or their wish, what they had aspired for.
Okay.
For some students, it might not go as planned. However, from an internship standpoint, everyone gets an internship, and there is no need to worry about that if anyone is fearing that for selecting IIM Lucknow. From an internship and even final placement process, you can be rest assured that you will get a very good opportunity.
So, can you tell us about your placement process, as in your experience, and you're getting selected by Bain Company, Kaushik?
So I think it first typically starts off with the shortlist, and I think just to add on to a point there, for any placement, I think the most critical document you can ever prepare is your CV, and everyone has to give a significant importance to that document, because they don't get to see you before they shortlist you. So it's just that paper which should reflect on how you are. And so once I received the shortlist, there are multiple things. So one, you are assigned a buddy. Then you have various interaction sessions, wherein one, it is more to like make you feel comfortable initially. Then they'll get on to about the firm. Then there'll be a case workshop. And depending on all of this, on the day of the interview, so you are, I mean, depending on the company's preference, you are called in the first slot, or there are typically a few waves. So you are, based on their preference, you're called in, and then there are about 2 to 3 rounds of interviews.
Okay.
So in the interview, it is largely cases, as far as Bain is concerned, case solving, and you also have a little bit of HR, which you can expect. So I think my personal process was very smooth. In fact, the company makes you feel a lot comfortable. Just that you will have to balance it out, given you will have multiple shortlists, and then you'll have to coordinate and communicate with everyone around. So that is one factor which you'll have to bear in mind. Otherwise, mine was straight 2 round process, and then that's how it happened on the day of the interview.
Kaushik, there's a question for you. profile building tips for internship at big three consulting firms.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
think that starts off before you join as well. So I think the stark difference between summers and finals is the fact that summers emphasizes or focuses a lot on what you've done pre-MBA, although you can add on to it by getting selected into certain committees or participating in certain competitions, but a significant chunk is based on your pre-MBA life. So if you still have time, you can obviously do a lot of things to have. So consult typically focuses on a balanced CV. So also there's something called a spike. So spike is something like you're doing exceptionally well in a particular area. Say you've represented a sports team at the national level or something of that sort. That could be an example. Or maybe you have a startup which has done really well. So these are the things, but otherwise, if you can ensure your academics, work experience, or if you're a fresher, obviously that doesn't count. Then you can maybe add on to with some good internships, your positions of responsibility, and then your other extracurricular activities. If you can do something when you have time, even if it is a social initiative, I think all of that will be appreciated. But obviously, you should have genuine interest in something which you're doing. That will be something which they might look at. But typically, it is a balanced CV across all areas, which is what is looked at from a summer standpoint. And from a final standpoint, what you tend to do is you'll have to build up your CV throughout. So what you've done pre-MBA may not really matter a lot. What you've done during that 1.5 years before your final placement process is what becomes very critical, and you have a lot of opportunities. So however you want to take it up during your time, I think that's up to you.
Okay. This question is for Shivam and Kaushik. Were you given any training ahead of the placements, or you all prepared on your own? Was there like any mentoring that was provided?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do not need to worry about that. Once you are, even before you are inside the campus, all your mentors, your seniors will reach out to you. There is a mentorship team that we have, the placement mentorship team. It is called Disha. And so there are, at IIM Lucknow, you will not have any issues in getting the training. All your peers, your seniors are there for your help. You will be very rigorously helped on your sorry, your CV making. So your CV before you enter IIM and at the point you are there for your summer internships, it's drastically different. It is very articulated and your skills are highlighted. So there are multiple iterations for that. And even for your preparation, there are your buddy programs, your mentorship programs, there are GD slots. Your seniors will continuously help you. You have your peer learning group. So all of that is there. And for that training, you are awake almost 20 out of the 24 hours or probably 22 hours. So there is total, it's a total no sleep time till the point you reach your summer internship. So it's called hell for a reason.
Okay.
So
We'll get to
Kaushik
that.
can pitch in. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaushik.
So I think he's broadly covered almost everything. Just one additional, I think the most important factor here is your seniors during your summers, and maybe even your the junior batch does pitch in to assist you during your laterals or finals.
Okay.
So there is a culture of bonding between the batches, and then you can cold call anyone at any point in time, and then you can find help. So that's how it is. So we even if you need a case slot or you need some additional personal customized prep for any particular domain, you can reach out to the concerned person, and then they will not refuse help. I think that is the single most critical factor for me. Apart from that, I think Shivam has covered pretty much everything in terms of the support system which is available, and that's, if you just go through whatever is being presented or offered to you diligently, I think that is more than enough. You don't have to worry too much of anything beyond what is there in your platter.
Okay. So what if someone has not been able to get a good internship? So what happens to them during the placement? Does that have any effect on their final placement? Kaushik, you can take it.
I mean, this is my personal view.
Sure.
Anyone can maybe pitch
Yeah,
on,
sure.
or add on.
Shivam, you can also pitch in. Anybody who would like to pitch in, yeah, please. Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, with respect to finals, what you've done during your MBA is what really matters. So even if you don't get into the role of your choice in summers, you still have a chance to correct it largely in finals and laterals, because you have very good companies, all the top firms coming in for finals and laterals as well.
Okay.
So all you need to figure out is, rather than maybe relaxing, if say let us consider some person is not getting into a desired role after summers, instead of relaxing, you just try to find opportunities. You can have external internships also, which you can find. Say, I've known people who have done internships with Cred, Mintra, all of these companies as well. So if you can do good justice to the time you have in hand and make good use of the opportunities, do well in academics, participate in all the events, have some sports to back you, everything, you can build up your profile in the run up to your final placements, and it should not be a major hurdle in my personal.
Right. Are there any exchange programs at IIM Lucknow? Although right now, of course, there isn't much of a chance to do much, but yeah, but otherwise, yeah. Karanveer, would you like to answer?
Yeah, we have a student exchange program, but for ABM, like we have like around 4 students are chosen from ABM who go for student exchange. We have only one college in France which we have tied up, and I think there are around 90 to 100 students from PGP as well. I think others can add who also like based on the they are decided. So you apply for going to for an exchange,
Right.
and then based on grade you are shortlisted, and then yeah you can go for an exchange for three for one term, and that's I think fifth term. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anybody would like to add anything? Any more information about student exchange program? Somebody actually asked this question. Yeah. No.
Yeah, for student exchange, yeah, from a PGP or the PGP perspective, yeah, around 85 students go for the student exchange. However, there's a limit in terms of if you join certain committees, then you are not able to go for the student exchange. So it is a decision that you have to make a bit early on, and it is also somewhat tied to your academics. You have to perform well in your academics too, because it's a rank or academics based selection that is done.
Right.
This year, obviously, due to the COVID situation, this year and the last year, student exchange was not did not happen. But however, I think it's a wonderful though I was not able to experience it, from my friend's story, it's a wonderful experience, and anyone who is interested should actually go ahead with it, because it is a very important part of MBA.
Okay. There's a question where I'm in a stage where I can go for a job and also for MBA through CAT. What should be better for me? Should I go for a job first and gain some work experience and then go for MBA, or I should go for MBA as a fresher? Who would like to take? Ritika, you would like to take this question?
So I think the only in terms of learning out of an MBA, I don't think it made a lot of difference if you have WorkX or if you do not have WorkX.
Okay.
But I think WorkX gives you a sort of clarity on what you want to do. And in terms of CV points also, like Karanveer mentioned before, if you are a fresher, there are a lesser number of things that you have to put on your CV, right? So WorkX, I think, helps you in that manner, wherein you have a lot of prior experience in doing things in a certain way. But apart from that, I think coming from a CA background where we have a 3-year internship, I'm not quite sure of the entire WorkX domain. Probably someone else can pitch in better.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody would like to give their views? Yeah. Gotcha.
So I think I would like to maybe a little differ a little from what Ritika said about not making a difference from a learning standpoint. So there are two things to it. I think the main reason why US MBAs or any foreign universities try to emphasize on WorkX is you tend to relate to what you're learning in terms of what you've already done before, and that gives you a better learning experience per se overall. But I mean, it's not. It's a personal choice. So beyond that, there's nothing much to comment. It doesn't have a major impact. If you think you can crack CAT even now and get in, that's fine. If you want to maybe, as Shivam said, if you want to maybe relieve a little bit of pressure and have a backup, then you can maybe start working and then do it parallelly, which is obviously not a challenge if you're focused. So I think that's a personal call at the end of the day.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay.
I think it also,
Who wants to add? Okay, Karanveer wants to add.
yeah, I was saying that it also depends on the kind of job that you have. If you're
Ah.
working with a good brand, then definitely you'll get a good exposure and you'll be able to relate in I'm Lucknow. But if you are in a like a mediocre role and not adding value or not learning much within the company, then I think it's better to do MBA and start earning higher early on, right? Rather than for 2 3 you learn less. So I think you can from start on only from a higher scale. So you can from just from a financial point of view, so you can start earning more from starting only. So
Okay.
that could be a good point, yeah.
Okay, so now we move to our fun section, which is Life at Campus, where all our speakers will show some photos from their time at the campus. And all speakers, you all can pitch in and tell your stories if you have any regarding that particular photo. So who would like to share first? So after Shivam, Kaushik, you can share, then Karanveer if you have any, and then Ritika.
I am Lucknow definitely is a place where you make a lot of friends,
Hmm.
and there are a lot of events actually.
Hmm.
So you have the Christmas parties, you have the Pongal celebrations, you
Hmm.
have the prom nights, the photo sessions, and farewells. So
Right.
this is a short snap, and the friends you make will stay there forever.
Hmm.
So this is one of the things that is most cherished after the 2 years, more than the placements and the internship, all of that.
Right.
Next, this is a photograph of our library.
Yeah.
So our library is a place wherein before the internships or even after that, you'll spend most of your time,
Hmm.
sleepless nights and preparation.
It's very empty right
So
now, this photo.
it is very empty. This was because of the COVID situation, but however, this does not
Okay.
look like
Yes,
it.
yeah.
All the benches, all the chairs are all full. There is no space. It is, you can say it's a temple at I am Lucknow. Everyone knows the value of our library.
Right.
I
This
think
is a
I'll
fun,
just add on, Shivam, one
yeah,
thing. I
sure,
think
sure.
on the library thing, library and CC are also important because of the heat during summers. I think people tend
Yeah.
to spend a lot of time over there.
Yeah, yeah.
True.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah. Move on. This is a fun picture. So this is our class. So this is a class between the two breaks between two lectures. You are so dog tired after your preparations. In the morning, you are attending class right from 9 a.m. and you have slept at 7 a.m. in
Right.
the morning because of your preparation. So this is the first year wherein even if you get a 15 minutes break, everyone is just sleeping like hell.
Hmm.
And this is one of the pictures of a winter morning,
Hmm.
early morning. You go for your quizzes and it's foggy in I am Lucknow and the roads are awesome, so it's a very good place to have your walks
Hmm.
and cold winters. Moving on, this is a short snippet on how your placement v- looks like, as in
Hmm.
these are the company PPTs. All the students are attending the presentations. The company leaders have come. They are presenting about their companies. You have group discussions and all of that. Even you have some short fun events like this is for Bajaj, wherein they brought their super bikes and all their
Yeah.
best of the bikes to show what they have in store for you.
Hmm.
Then this is a snippet on your Insti party.
Hmm.
It's Insti party is something that all the students would know, and these are crazy parties that we have in our hostels.
Hmm.
And lastly, this is the iconic pathways of I am Lucknow, wherein you take your morning walks, your evening strolls, and even your midnight walk.
Hmm.
It is just a beautiful green campus.
Yeah, okay. Let me show. Yeah. I think Shivam has already shared some beautiful pictures.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this is from our section. So there are section wars in which every so ours were a section H. So
Okay.
there are multiple performance. So this was from that, and
Okay, what are they perform? Is this like a drama or something like a?
yes, I think you prepare for everything. You do
Okay.
drama, and yeah, there are other events wars within the whole
Right.
yeah sections. So you prepare multiple things, and each one, I think everyone gets an opportunity to participate in at least something. So
Okay.
it's not like college or school where only few students are participating. Like everyone has to participate in such events.
Hmm.
And this was when we were going first time home after leaving campus. This is from I think Diwali,
Yeah.
and this is I think we were for going out for a marketing event.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a committee. Yeah, so we used to do live marketing with the outside agencies,
Mm-hmm.
and this is yeah from I think from Insti party only in the
Okay.
background.
Okay.
Okay, this was I think our Senate party,
Hmm.
and this is is from ABM, right? When we went to a college, so we have to go for I think 15 or 20 days for a live visit to a field. So you work, you work with an agriculture university. So we went to Panagar. So this is from Dehradun. Yeah, this is final graduation photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
The last part is the one which I think Shivam and I can't show because we had it online.
Yeah. Kaushik, yeah.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
we
can
can.
see.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah,
This
so
is
this was
nice.
during our New Year this year. From December 25th to Jan 1st, we had the
Very
entire
nice.
campus decorated. This was during our first day. The induction happens in Utsav, which is the hall.
Mm.
Then this is our batch. So there was this pledge which was taken as soon as we joined. There was a march initially, and then this was a snap taken then.
Okay.
And this is one of our peers who has taken different stills to show different areas of the campus, so
Very
you can
nice.
see how scenic a place this is.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
Uh, and then this is one of the iconic statues there. It is called Medusa.
Mm.
I mean, I
Yes.
think I don't know what exactly technically what does it stand for, but my interpretation is because the Greek god of snakes, and you can find a lot of snakes on campus as well. So
Oh, okay.
I think, but it's not nothing to worry. You can find even peacocks, so it's you can find everything over there.
Okay.
So these are the walls campus pathways, and this is our mess, which is Annapurna mess. It's our student-run mess completely.
Mm.
Uh, and then, so these are a few events which happened, right? So this is a performance by Random Walk during MV. MV is our flagship event annually.
Okay.
And so you can see different DJ nights, performances. So this is again during Republic Day, there are performances.
Mm.
This is Abhivyakti, which is basically at the drama club. So they do Nukkad Nataks, street plays.
Correct. Yeah.
And this was taken during the International Yoga Day
Okay.
celebrations. And this is I think one of the most sought after things, which is basically the Jam Night. 3.4 is a very famous band which we have, and so we have very frequent jam nights which are conducted by them.
Okay.
This is again one of the marathons which was organized during MV as part of MV.
Yeah.
This you can see Guru Randhawa performing during MV, and these are certain photo nights. So Right Angles is the photography club. They do organize various photo night sort of a thing.
Okay.
So again, these are certain photos with my friends during these Christmas, New Year celebrations. So this is I think this is the closest bunch of people I have. I was a class representative, and this is my entire class. So we had this during our MCC yearbook launch. So this is a pack of people who stick together with you forever, I think. And this is my student council, our senior members, and us. So the 8 and 816 of us. Then this is again. So this is called the amphitheater. So I think I'm not sure if maybe Karanveer can tell if this place holds a significance before the convocation or during the convocation. I think the batch photo shoot or something if it goes on here.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is only used for photos only. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And these are a few glimpses from the sports which we have. So football or basketball. I think you have all name the sport, and then you have most of it here.
Right.
And the last part is on the festival. So Pongal is one where you can find professors, director, everyone coming in and then participating. This is during Diwali in 2019. Then this is Onam Kathakali performance. This was the Christmas tree which was set up for Christmas, and then again this is Pongal. This was one of so basically this year because we had a lot of restrictions because of the gathering and all, we ensured that in order to light up the campus per se, we thought maybe decorating that itself would be a great idea. So that's what it was. And this is I think one of the other festivals. So this is basically the main convocation ground as they call it, and then the behind red block as you see is the place where you have the first year classrooms.
Okay.
And you have another building on the left, which is the second years.
Okay.
That's it from my side.
Ritika, you have photos? Anything?
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
show you. So
yeah,
most of the events have been covered by
yeah,
them. I'll
yeah,
just show
yeah.
you
No
how the
problem.
online experience
Yes, yeah.
was.
Mm.
So can you see my screen?
Yes. Oh,
So
yeah.
this was actually the online party that we had
Okay.
after our placements.
Okay.
So that's the online version if in case term one goes online for some of y'all.
Mm.
And these are the room parties where we actually have when we were at campus for real.
Mm. Mm.
So this is how we celebrate birthdays at campus. So this
Mm.
is our entire section, and for each birthday, we have a cake cutting in the specific designated area near the mess.
Okay.
So that's a tradition I think that's followed across all batches, all students.
Mm.
This is again camaraderie. So like
Okay.
Karanveer showed the event
Mm.
that was there for the section.
Okay.
And yeah, so we
Mm.
have these hostel terraces where we
Mm.
have smaller wing parties.
Right.
So that's another thing that we do. And this is our classroom. So
Mm.
this was the first lecture offline that we had after our online experience.
Okay.
And yeah, these are the skies at campus that it gets. So the scenic beauty, like Kaushik and Shivam showed, is
Mm.
beautiful at campus. And from the terraces that we have, so the hostel terraces, the views are extremely beautiful in the evening and
Mm.
even during winter in general.
Right. Mm. Very nice.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Fine. Was like I think yeah, this particular campus view was amazing. I mean, everybody, all of you got such beautiful photos. Yeah, so let's yeah, before we wrap up, we have a rapid fire section, and it is all about the fun and myth busting and all the fun facts, trivia's about I Am Lucknow. So why is I Am Lucknow called hell? Shivam, you can answer since yeah, you did mention hell. Yeah.
Yeah, so I am Lucknow. First of all, it rhymes with L.
Mm,
That is obviously the fact. But the most important part is it is actually very rigorous,
mm,
and it is not hell in a bad way.
mm,
It's probably like you can say that it's like the students are a gold in a furnace.
mm,
So probably the rigor of the academics, the rigor of the summer internship, the rigor of the placement is something that makes everyone call it hell. The exams, they're very frequent exams. The quality of the education, quality of the academics is also too good.
mm,
That is where grind itself, everyone relates it hell. So at that you'll feel sad or probably dejected that it's so tough. You have to be awake all the time. But
mm,
later on you'll understand it was an amazing experience.
mm. Yeah, anybody else would like to say why it's hell? No? Okay, I can move to the next question then. How was the hostel life and hostel rooms? You guys did not really show too many photos of hostel rooms. Any preferences, like, maybe, this part is better, that wing is better, and all that? Yeah. Who would like to answer? Kaushik, Karanveer?
So I think my personal preference, I really love the old hostels. In fact, the rooms are a tad bigger than the newer ones, and it's centrally located, so everything is easily accessible.
Okay, right.
Unlike Shivam's room, Shivam was in the farthest corner of the campus.
Okay.
So I think
Okay.
maybe otherwise, all the hostels are more or less good. I think there's nothing. So when you have people around,
Hmm.
just that older hostels have lesser people, lesser number of rooms, and the newer hostels have more rooms per se.
Okay.
But otherwise, I personally don't have any other preference.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm. So, is there any popular I Am Lucknow lingo that one would only the insiders would know? Yeah, all of you can pitch in. Any word, anything? Shivam, Karanveer, Ashik,
I
or
think
you?
one lingo that I
Yeah.
still use is like light hair, right? So whenever I used to talk with my Disha Amber, with this shape, and there's light hair, light hair, light hair is, chill, it's not
Hmm.
that important.
Okay.
Light hair, light hair.
I guess the
So
others don't want to share anything. Okay. So AIM is I Am Lucknow is called the marketing campus. True or false?
in my opinion,
Hmm.
not anymore. It was definitely the marketing. I mean, it's still good for marketing. I didn't in the right way. So it's a progress, I would say. Earlier, probably it was called marketing only because the best of companies of marketing could be there, and then it was still catching up. Maybe a couple of decades ago, I think, when Tony, who is my IMS mentor as well,
Mm,
he used to say people used to travel elsewhere to maybe appear for interviews with
mm,
McKinsey. But
mm.
now you have all the top firms coming in from different domains. You have
Right,
PEVCs coming, and you have IBs coming, and you have consulting firms.
right.
Everything here. So I don't. I mean, it is still, you still have the best of marketing firms, but then I think the other domains have also caught up. So not just a marketing campus, but it's a good market.
Right. Okay. Okay. Any favorite spots within the campus for all of you? Shivam, which one is your favorite spot within the campus?
Yeah, for me and for many of us, the night mess is something that is very close to our heart. So
Mm,
night mess is probably the heart of Lucknow.
mm,
Everyone at night, it is open up to 3 or 4 a.m. So
mm.
everyone, after wrapping up their daily chores and everything, they will land up in the night mess, and you can work, you can talk to them, you can do whatever you want. And secondly, one more thing that is very close to everyone's heart is the pathways of I Am Lucknow. Everyone loves to take a walk, be it midnight, be it 3 a.m., be it morning 7 a.m. So the midnight walks and the morning walks are something that is very, others can pitch in.
Mm. Yeah, Kaushik, any favorite spot? Oh, he has covered already.
No, I think those are my favorite, but I think typically for gatherings, the iconic location which we have is Titanic. So there is in the connector of Hostel 9 and 10, you have a place where there's a large gathering which is possible, and then it's like a deck. So you climb onto it, and it's like a ship's end. So which is why it is called Titanic. The entire thing. I think that's one of the iconic places.
Okay, okay. Hey, so I did see a lot of photos from the Insti parties, although they were not looking very crazy. But I'm Lucknow has crazy Insti parties. True or false? Kaushik, you showed all the photos, no, of the parties.
No, I think Shivam showed it, but
Shivam, yeah,
I've mostly been on the sidelines of parties. I'm not a very party person. So yeah.
okay. Shivam, is it true or false? Are they crazy
Yeah,
Insti
true.
parties? Yeah.
Definitely true. Crazy parties.
How often are these parties organized? Are they like every
I
second day?
think if everything's fine, there is no COVID and all, then probably once in every 2 to 3 months, and they are definitely very crazy parties. I did not show you the wildest of the photos, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think probably Ritika can pitch in, or Karanveer might have his own experiences, so probably they can.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, they're definitely crazy, and I think I have seen like even the most introverted people, dancing like crazy because after once you went through the placement process, like everyone wants to release that burden, right? So that mental pressure. So it's such a relief, and the parties after placements are much more crazy, and they keep on happening. I think every term we have at least one institute party, and also other than that there are section parties and your social parties. Yeah.
Yeah, Ritika showed some photos of like very chilled get together. Oh, but Ritika, have you attended any Insti parties?
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a chance to
Okay.
attend, I think, 3 to 4 in the 4 months that we were there. So
Okay.
it was a great
Oh,
experience, and
not
like
bad.
Shivam said,
Mhm.
it gets really crazy. The
Okay.
pictures that he showed, I think, were the start of the party.
Okay.
It goes on. It starts from around 12 a.m. and goes
Mm,
on till morning 7
right.
a.m., 8 a.m.
Mm, mm,
So I think that is definitely a great experience. And in fact, one of the events that we had, the speaker who had come in from outside,
mm.
he had come in a few years back when the event was at campus, and he
Okay.
remembered attending one of our Insti parties, and he
Okay.
was telling the students here that y'all are really missing it out
Mm.
when we were doing the online term.
Right.
So I
Right.
think Insti parties at I Am Lucknow are famous and crazy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so before we wrap up, I would just like to ask one question to all the speakers. You all can pitch in maybe one tip each for the MBA aspirants that they can do now. Of course, obviously pertaining to profile building, pertaining to CAT preparation, because our attendees are mostly CAT 2021 and CAT 2022 students.
So, when you're preparing for the CAT, I think that time it becomes more important to focus on the exam itself.
Hmm.
So, that time I think you shouldn't be taking pressure off your overall profile building. Yeah,
Hmm.
you do keep on doing these activities consistently, like I said, the online courses, the NGO work, or the internships, but not primarily focusing on them. I think the primary goal while taking the exam should be to crack the exam first,
Right.
because one step at a time. And once you've cracked the exam, and that's when you have, I think, ample of time before the B school starts. You have around 7 to 8 months from the CAT end to the B school start, and that's when I think you can focus more on bettering your profile and looking at other things. But when it's the CAT, I think you need to focus on the exam first and take that as the first step.
Okay. Kaushik?
So I think major part of it has already been spoken about. One personal thing which I've experienced is we tend to get carried away by what, because I've also been in that phase, right? So we tend to get easily carried away by whatever we hear. So not everything we hear is true or the fact. So try to, if there is some very critical piece of information basis which you are making a decision, try to make that judgment after discussing with people who have some experience in dealing with those situations, be it your mentors or any of your good friends who've had that experience,
Right.
rather than just blindly going by hearsay. So that is how, as Shivam had rightly stated, there is a lot of so all of these online content, whatever you read, is not at all true. So you will have to validate whatever you take it, because otherwise you tend to go astray, and then your mind starts drifting away from the area you need to focus on. So that's probably my suggestion.
Okay. Yeah.
My tip for the aspirants would be obviously focus on your mocks a lot. Mocks are very important for your CAT preparation, and as now just focus on CAT, not on the profile building aspect. Once you score well, that is good. But on a slightly different note, I would suggest, and that was my personal opinion, that do not take a lot of pressure. CAT is not the end all be all of life or even career. So if you have a more relaxed approach towards the exam and even towards the preparation, you end up scoring better, because the pressure blocks your mind. And since it's an aptitude based exam, it is very important to chill out, practice consistently, but chill out and do not take pressure. Even if you are, if the exam does not go well, there are millions of other alternatives to your career which are equally as lucrative.
Right. Yeah, Karanveer, you can tell a little bit from PGP ABM angle.
Yep. So I think for CAT experience, just to add on, Shivam, I think for just enjoy the experience of preparing CAT. Take it like a challenge, okay, and that you are building your aptitude, not just preparing for CAT. Okay, just say that okay, I have to build my aptitude so that I can clear any aptitude exam and not just CAT. So you have a little less pressure. And one technique that I used to use in mock and actual CAT exam as well that worked for me was doing Anulom Vilom, like you breathe with left and right ear nostril. How it helps is like it balances your left and right when certainly for 1 minute you do it and you are focusing on your breathing, and then you are able to calm down your mind, and then you start focusing on the exam. So that worked well me for the CAT. And from like once you enter the campus, like if you get selected right for ABM, don't like as Kaushik said, right, there will be like huge rush or there's a huge crowd with you, so you'll tend to go with the crowd, like they'll take it to you with anywhere, right, with their opinions and with their mindset, right. Everyone is saying something else and they'll have a different background, and you will see that okay, everyone is pro at something, right. So there are people who are good at academics, so everything. There are multi-talented people out there, so how do you don't you have to decide that they have worked hard in past, but this is now your time, and you how you best utilize, you have invested this much money time, so try to get best learning from them and see that okay, I am different, I have a different path from them, and just try to see or find your own way within the campus. It's not different for ABM or PGP. Just have with confidence, don't constantly compare yourself to other peers, because then you will not be able to build good friendship. You will start constantly comparing, okay, he's good, he's bad, okay, based on their CVs or based on their past experience.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
Okay, so that's all we have time for. So thank you all the attendees, and I would like to thank all the speakers. Thank you, Karanveer, Shivam, Kaushik, Ritika. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.